Welcome back, everyone. Today we are making the Sam Crossbody bag by K&A Custom Fabrics. This one's a quick one. We have our zipper panel for the lining, a zipper lining, our two side panels, the D-rings, our main panel, and our zipper gussets right here. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and let's just get started. Okay, so first we're going to make our zipper gusset piece. It's not a full, well, it is a full gusset, but it's not your traditional gusset. You'll see. So we'll put our main panel and our main lining to the side, along with our zipper panel, and we'll start with our D-ring connectors. So I have some tape here. We're going to tape both sides. And we're just going to fold these in so that they're 1 inch wide. So I'm going to use a number 5 stitch length. I'm going to sew 1/8 of it in. Swing around into the other side. Oops. And then I have 2 1-inch D-rings. And then I'm going to sew these together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm going to do this on the same so that they line up the same when I put them on the bag. That's Charlie. Say hi, Charles. Kitty, kitty, kitty. All right, so we have both of our D-rings. We're going to put these to the side for now. Then we're going to take both of our zipper linings and our zipper gusset, and I'm going to put 1/8 inch tape. You can use clips if you want to. I prefer to use tape. And depending on the design of your panel will be on which side you want to put the tape. I'm just going to make these face each other today. That part doesn't really matter. All right, there we go. And then I've chosen a piece of zipper tape that's a little bit longer than my zipper gusset, so I have a little bit of play on each end. I like to sew it into the seam. I don't like it to be like right exact at the panel length. I feel like you get a better, I don't want to say seal, but a better seal that way. Choose one zipper lining. All right, then we're going to sew this together at a 4.5 inch stitch length and a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Back stitch. Trim our threads. And I like to fold it at the seam. I feel like that's easier than trying to fold the whole thing. And then we're going to top stitch this, and I'm going to do it at a number 5 stitch length. And then I'm pulling on the bottom and the zipper a little to make sure that they're aligned and I'm not missing any of the lining. And then we're gonna sew down the side and then down the other side. And that way it's already attached. Right, so then we'll do this side. I can't not hit the camera no matter where I put it. We're going to sew this at 4.5 inch, 1/4 inch seam allowance, 4.5 stitches. I'm going to go ahead and fold this, fold on that side. I'm going to fold it on that side. I'm going to top stitch at a number 5. Gently pulling on the lining to make sure it all gets caught. We're going to go all the way around. All right. Our next move is going to be to add the zipper pull because we don't want to forget. Very important. Just gonna give this a little singe. I'm gonna take my zipper pull, and you can put it on according to which way you want it when you open and close the bag, from which side. I always like mine to close right to left. All right, so you can put 1 zipper pull, 2 zipper pulls. Today I'm only using 1. We're gonna take our D-rings here, and we're going to attach these right at the zipper line, right flush with the zipper panel, zipper gusset. Just stitch those on. This is why I like to have a little bit of extra zipper tape, because then it has like a little something to hold on to. So flush with the zipper gusset. All right. And then we're going to take our side pieces. We'll take one side and one side lining. We're going to sandwich those between the gusset, the top and the bottom. And flip it over. As you can see, my my exterior panel, or my zipper gusset, is a little bit bigger than the sides. That's because I should have used a 3/8 seam allowance on the zipper tape, and my machine isn't great at getting that close, so I always do 1/4. So if you don't want this little bit of extra on the side, I would suggest a 3/8 inch on the zipper gusset, but we're just going to trim this when we're done. I'll show you. So we'll sew this at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. If you need to use a hump jumper for the D-ring, it's a little bit thick. The vinyl's too thick, you can always use webbing. And then we're going to fold that over, and we're going to top stitch. So we're going to fold it, pull it until they match. And then we're going to top stitch, and then we're going to sew all the way around. If you're worried about your vinyl getting scuffed, you don't need to top stitch this point. You can just sew around. I'm going to go ahead and go for it. There you go. So now you see I have my side piece and I have the side lining, and they're all together and ready to go. So we'll do the other side. Same way. Gonna line it up between these two lines. And we'll turn it over and attach our lining. Stitch these together at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Pull these. You can cut all these strings if you want to. I'll wait till the end. Pull them as tight as possible so that they match. We're going to top stitch, which is optional. Use my hump jumper. If you don't call it a hump jumper, what do you call it? Let me know in the comments below. I always feel funny saying it, but that's all I know what it is. So if you wanted to, you could trim down so that this is flush. I'm just going to leave it. It's going to assemble the same. This is not going to be that big of a deal for me. We'll go ahead and pin these together and mark our centers. I'm also going to mark my centers on these side panel pieces. There we go. I just can't stand the mess. Okay. Trim all of our little threads that we didn't trim earlier. And then we're going to put this piece to the side and we're going to go on to our main lining and our main panel. Okay, so we have a couple options. This is our main panel, so this is the entire exterior of the bag. The zipper part is on this piece. And then we have our main panel lining. So for the lining, there's an option for a zipper pocket. Today, I'm going to do a zipper style pocket, but I'm not going to add a zipper. You could also just do a slip pocket if you wanted to, because we're going to bind the whole thing when we're done. We're not turning the bag. So the way you do the pocket doesn't matter, but today I'm going to show you how to do a faux zipper pocket, but no zipper. So just be like a reach-in pocket? What are we calling those? I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to grab my little handy dandy little zipper tool here. So if you want, take your zipper pocket lining, and we're gonna mark, make a mark at 1 inch, and then a 1/2 inch from that inch to make our little box, and then 1 inch from each edge. And then we'll measure it. We'll see how long it is. So let's see. It makes about a 6 3/4 inch opening. So you can put an 8-inch zipper on here, or we're going to do no zipper. No zipper. I don't love putting zippers inside the bag because, one, I feel like I never zip them closed. And two, and you know, it like roughs up the material on the inside. So we're going to mark our center here. And then we're going to mark our center on the top right here. So we're going to place these two pieces right sides together. Where the curved edges are is the top of the bag where the zipper is. So we're going to measure, let's see, 1.5 inches down from the top, and that's where we're going to align our pocket. So then our pocket will be let's do 1 inch. So we're going to measure down 1 inch from the top of the panel. And so our pocket will technically be 2 inches down because we have 1 inch for the panel and then 1 inch on top of our pocket lining. All right. So we're going to stitch this box right here. I'm going to start in the corner. Use a 4.5 inch stitch length. Go all the way around. You don't have to stitch the sides if you don't want to. It's your choice. You gotta at least do the 2 lines. And then our next step is we're going to cut a hole here, and then we're going to cut a little triangle piece at the end. So straight line. Make sure you don't cut past your stitch line. And then about 1 inch from the end, we're just going to cut it like a triangle. So it looks like that. Careful not to snip your stitches, and your pocket will come apart. We don't want that. If you're using ironable materials, you can go ahead and get your iron out, and you can iron these flat. And since we're not using zipper tape, we want it to look sharp and fresh and cool and clean. So flip it out. I like to press down on these seams with my finger press. And we'll do this one. Makes it a lot easier to lay flat when you're trying to iron it. And we're going to pull on the corners. All right. And we're going to pull on the corner to get it as straight as possible. And flip it over. So now you can see that we have like a zipper hole. And this is normally where you would add the zipper, but we're just going to top stitch. Give this a little iron. See, I stitched a little too far. So go ahead and clip that stitch. All right, now let's iron it. A quick little press. And I'm going to top stitch, making sure my pocket piece in the back is laying still. Iron top. All right. I'm just going to back stitch. You can pull your threads to the back if you want it to be a little neater. For this application, it doesn't matter. And do a little singe action. Okay. So now you'll see that we have the back of the lining in this long pocket, zipper pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the pocket. So it's kind of hard to explain. Okay, hold on. So we're going to fold the pocket down, and I'm going to clip it. And then we're going to sew in a U shape all the way around. So there. So this is the bottom of the pocket, and this is the top. That was my chair, by the way. I'm going to flip it over. Move, Charles. Move. Come on. I'm making a video, huh? Move. I'm going to squirt you. Gonna squirt you. No, I'm going to squirt you. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to start at the top of the pocket on the one side, and I'm going to sew all the way around in a U shape. But I'm going to sew it. Yeah, we're going to start on this end. Backside down so it doesn't get all flipped on me. 1/4 inch seam allowance. All the way down to the next corner. All right, there we go. So now this is what the pocket looks like in the back. I don't need to trim the edges because they're binding and it's not going to be in the way. And then now we have a nice big pocket here. It's a zipper pocket like that. All right, now we're going to take our main panel lining, which is this piece, and our lining piece, and we're going to pin them together and we're going to baste them together. And then as soon as we're done basting them, we're going to attach the gusset. It's a little bit wavy from attaching my pocket, but that's okay. We're going to stitch it down. If you wanted to avoid this waviness, then I would suggest a slip pocket, not a pocket pocket. All right, so we're going to start in the middle on this side at a 5 all the way around. Easy around those curves. I'm just basting at 1/8 of an inch, and we want it to be hidden in the binding. We don't want to be able to see it on the final product. So now we have our main panel and they're attached together. I'm going to fold this in half and I'm going to mark my centers on all 4 sides. And then I'm going to trim my lining anywhere that doesn't match the exterior panel. Just the exterior. Yep. I'll put this together in the middle. Perfect. All right, so our next move is going to be to attach the gusset. We're going to need quite a few clips, or if you want to staple it, you can. I'm not a stapler. It's not my thing. Okay, so we're going to do right sides together. So first, we're going to attach our side panels at the middle part of the bag. So I'm going to clip one on each side, and then one on this side. I might have to get out the heavy duty clips for this. We don't want it moving. And then we're going to do this middle part in the middle of the zipper. Right here. And then we're just going to ease in the rest and we're going to clip around our curves. So we'll go ahead and line it up as best as we can. And you'll see the bag start to take shape the more clips you have. clip it in a minute. After I get the majority of our pins down. Clips. Majority of our clips. Right, so it's starting to look like a bag. And I'm running out of clips. Because I dropped them on the floor. Good thing we have extra. Just a few. So now I'm going to unclip this and I'm going to go ahead and clip my curves. And we'll realign the center. And then we'll clip it again. This one. And we'll clip this curve. Clip this one. Last one. All right, so extra clips away. So there's two ways you could sew this down onto your machine. You could sew it inside or you could sew it outside the curve. Today, I'm going to sew it on this outside. All right, so I'm going to start in the middle of the zipper lining. And it's a 1/4 inch seam allowance.
I'm going to open up my zipper because I need to manipulate the guts of it off. We're just going to go slow all the way around all the curves. It's a little bit of an awkward shape, but it's not too bad. And if you think you got off the line with the seam allowance, it's okay to just go ahead and go back a few stitches until you catch it all. Especially when you're doing a project with binding, you want to make sure that you have all your corners. ahead and quesadillas. Almost done.
All right. And we're gonna go and we're gonna check to make sure that we caught all of our seams. To make sure we got it all. So I don't like the way that this is, so I'm gonna redo this part. And we'll redo this one as well. It's okay to go back and fix something if you don't like it. You don't have to do it right the first time. It's not a rule. Don't have to do it right the first time. All right. All right. That's better. Phew. Now, final step is to bind. I'm not quite sure how much binding we're going to need, so let's measure and take a look. Looks like we're going to need 60 inches of binding. 62 to be safe. Throw that over there. I have some binding here. And then I like to start on like the flat side of the bag. So I'm going to start right here at the top of the zipper gusset. Front, back, it doesn't matter to me. But the nice thing about the binding is that it's going to cover any ugly stitches that you had trying to get around those curves.
Use some new piece, I'm just going to overlap it like that.
All right, so this time we are going to top stitch at a number 5, 1/4 of an inch on the binding, and we're going to sew it from the inside out this time. Last time we did it this way. This time we're going to try it this way, and then we'll see which one we like better. So I'm going to start. Hold on. Sometimes my white thread likes to shred, and I don't know why. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start at the beginning of our binding. 1/4 inch, back stitch. And we're going to go. Just follow the curve. Let the bag guide you. And depending on what kind of interfacing you used on your bag, it might be easier or harder to smoosh it around. I used none so that we could see what it looks like uninterfaced. Definitely easier to sew it from this side of the bag than the other one. Oops. Go ahead and get back on track. Alright, so we're going to do a final inspection and make sure that we caught all of our threads, all of our binding. Okay, so it looks like we caught our binding on all of our sides, and it looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and give it a flip. So I'm going to start with the corner and pull it out. Mine's really easy to turn because I don't have any interfacing whatsoever. I wanted to give you guys a chance to see what it looks like. Looks like we have some threads to clean up. And when I fix those sides. And you want to push down your binding into the seam of the bag, kind of shape it a little bit. It helps with the shape. Sometimes I stuff my bags with paper and then I let them sit overnight so that they get the right form, the right shape. Remember, I used white thread so that you could see all my stitches. If I would have cleaned this up before I put the binding on, this wouldn't show so much, so that's on me. All right. And there we have it. The Sam crossbody bag. So I'm going to zip it up. So this is the outside panel, the main panel. So it was the one piece, and now it's the front and the back. So most of the times these are like a book. There's the TARDIS one, there's a Star Wars manual, many more to come. And then you open it up, and there's your zipper pocket, or your not zipper pocket, or your slip pocket, or whatever kind of pocket you chose to make the lining with. And then your main lining panel, your sides, you can kind of see in there. And I think this looks great. And then all I have left is to add the crossbody strap, and we're good to go. Definitely needs some shaping. You just got to work with it to get it all complete. And then you're good. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And you guys have a great day. Okay, bye. Okay, bye-bye now. Okay, bye. Hold on, I'm not done. Hold on. Well, hello, Charles. Did you come to say goodbye? Oh, that's Ellie. Say hi, Ellie. I smell quesadillas. Those are my quesadillas. Dad made them for me, not for you. Get out of the way. Shoo. Shoo. Get out of the way. Shoo. Shoo. All right, now you have it. Okay, bye. I'm gonna squirt you. Works every time.